Hello and welcome back everyone to the Path of Success Collaborative Day 1. And our next session will be brought to you by Gapstars, which is a Netherlands and Sri Lanka based software development service provider for innovative tech companies. They started their journey in 2015 with a young and ambitious team, and currently there are more than 100 employees in their offices in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and Colombo, Sri Lanka. Working with fast-growing startups and scale-ups, Gapstars are working towards their goal of becoming an industry leader and an agile software development powerhouse in 2021. Now let's watch a short video. Okay, and today speaking about career opportunity spaces in Gapstars will be Ms.Zahra Nalir, who is the community manager for Gapstars, and she holds the professional qualification in human resource management from Chartered Institute of Personnel Management. Ms. Nalir, the stage is yours.
Hi everyone, good evening. Nipuna, thank you so much for that brilliant introduction. And thank you so much for the introduction of Gapstars as well. Let me just quickly share my screen here. Cool, right. So first and foremost, very good evening to everyone. Gapstars is thrilled to be a part of CSLX. I want to extend a huge thank you to AIESEC, University of Moratuwa, for giving Gapstars this opportunity to be a part of such an amazing session. And so I was recently on the panel as well as a guest to watch Idealize 2021. I saw a lot of you guys presenting y'all's pitches, a lot of y'all presenting y'all's app ideas, and there's truly some incredible talent here. And I want to give you all a very big congratulations to all the participants and all the winners as well for putting on an incredible show. So congrats on that. So to kick off, I'm pretty sure that some of you might already be familiar with myself and with Gapstars. So a couple of months back, earlier on in the year, we did a session with University of Moratuwa called Rise Up Mora. So some of you guys might know me from that. You might know Gapstars from that as well. So basically what we did was we conducted a couple of mock interviews with some of the, I believe it was second and third year undergraduates. And we were able to give them some career guidance, a little bit of advice, and we met some truly incredible individuals who are currently studying in the IT and computer science faculties at the moment. So for those of you who aren't entirely familiar with Gapstars, I'm keen to give you guys a quick roundup of what exactly we do. So as Nipuna rightfully said, we are a Netherlands-based B2B service company. So basically what we do is we partner up with Dutch startups and Dutch scale-ups in the tech sphere, and we build remote teams for them right here in Sri Lanka with local talent. So as many of you may know, being in the IT industry, following your software engineering courses or your IT courses or your engineering courses, you would see and you would understand that the IT industry in Sri Lanka and as a whole in the entire world is something that is very, very dynamic. So something that might be trending today might not be something that's trending tomorrow. You might go from one technology to another technology just like that, because that's just how dynamic the industry is. And that's what makes the industry so exciting as well. And that's also what makes the talent that we have in our country, the talent that we have right at our fingertips, that's what makes all of us so special. And that is something that a lot of companies internationally notice about Sri Lanka and about the talent that we have over here. It's that we have that special spark and that special talent that just makes us so much more special. So that's a little bit about Gapstars. We partner up with all these Dutch companies. All our clients are Dutch as well. And I just want to open up the discussion a little bit. So don't want it to be a session where I'm going to be doing all the talking. I want to hear a little bit from you guys also. So just something really, really quick. I'm sure you guys have the chat box down below. So I'd like to hear a little bit from you guys. How many of you are thinking of migration or thinking of going abroad after you guys graduate? So maybe if you guys could just put a little thumbs up or a little emoji as a reaction. Let's see how many of you guys are looking at that as a career path. Just opening up the chat. Great. So yes, definitely going abroad and pursuing a career outside of Sri Lanka internationally is something that is really exciting as well. We all want to see what lies beyond, what are the other things out there that we can get involved in. I can still see some more responses coming in. And I see that, you know, pursuing a career outside is something that a lot of you guys are interested in. So with Gapstars, you know, with our head office being in Netherlands, with our operation divided between Sri Lanka and the Netherlands, pursuing a career outside and migration is something that we can definitely work with all our employees. So there's definitely an opportunity to not just work for Gapstars in Sri Lanka, but to also take your career to the next level and actually settle down and work with our client teams directly in Amsterdam. So let me give you a couple of example stories, right? A couple of success stories. We have a couple of client teams down in Sri Lanka over here, and some of the really, really brilliant minds on that team and some of the people who've been having their hearts set on moving abroad actually spoke to us about it and said, hey, we'd love to go and work in Amsterdam directly from the office that we have over there. And we said, of course, that's something that we can make happen for you. So we've actually got quite a number of employees who initially started their career right here in Sri Lanka. And because they had the motive and because they were excited about moving abroad, going to the Netherlands itself, we made that possible for them. So not only did they have the opportunity to migrate to Netherlands, we helped to facilitate the process. And they also had a guaranteed job at the end of the line. So everything worked out fine. So if migration and if going to another country and settling down there, in a career within the software industry is something that you guys are interested in, Gapstars is the place to be. So jumping from that and jumping into a little bit about, you know, our values and who we are as a company. Of course, I think all of you guys might be understanding now what we do. So what our core functions are. But who are we? Who is Gapstars? So something that is different about us and different about the way that we like to present ourselves and we like to treat our employees is that we notice that a lot of our employees and a lot of the people who are currently coming out into the market as well are millennials and from Gen Z. So I'm quite sure that a number of you as well might belong to those generations, which is anywhere between, just pertaining to you guys, anywhere between 1994 to 2000. And when it comes to us, when it comes to young folks like us, what we want from a company, what we want from a working experience, what we want from an employment experience and a career opportunity is very different from what was the norm so many years ago. You might find yourself in several situations when you go and you approach different companies and when you go into different careers. And this is from my personal experience as well as other experiences that my colleagues and my friends have had. People like us, when you're very young, going into certain companies that are very rigid and very structured, it doesn't work very well for us. We want to be a part of a company that cares, and we want to be a part of a culture that makes us feel like we belong. We want to be a part of a company that is fun, that's different, you know, places where we can be ourselves, places where we don't have to suppress our personalities. Because at the end of the day, it's not just your skills that make up who you are in a workplace. So I've got a couple of quick questions and a couple of games for you guys, right? And I just want you guys to interact a little bit. So here's a quick question round. When you go for an interview, what are the main questions that you get asked, right? Feel free to say whatever comes off the top of your head, write that in the chat box so that I can see, and let's jump off on that. So let me know, share your thoughts from your experience, or from, if you guys have been in internships before, if you guys have had mock interview sessions before. Usually in an interview, what are the kinds of questions that you get? I'll give you guys some time to answer that in the chat box. So great one. Why do you think you are the best fit for this position? That's a great question that is actually asked at interviews. And what are your strengths? Very true, Sandanika. Let's see a couple more. So I'm on the talent team as well at Gapstars. So I do know for a fact, having conducted quite a number of interviews myself, that these are questions that we do ask. So let's see a little bit more.
What is your weakness and what is your strength?
Weaknesses and strengths, very good. What are your future goals? Okay, I really like the way you guys are thinking. Cool. So I think that we're all on the same page here. Thank you so much for the responses as well. Anyone else, if you still want to shoot your ideas through, please feel free to drop it into the chat box. Yes, these are the kinds of questions that are asked. What are your future goals? What are your strengths? Why should we hire you? Why are you a good fit for this company? Tell me about yourself. Yes, that's a question that often a lot of us get stuck with. And I'll tell you why. So when these questions are asked, and here's another round, maybe you guys can jump in on this as well. When you are asked these questions, for example, what are your strengths? Tell me about yourself. Why are you a good fit for this company? What is the first thing that pops into your head to talk about? What do you guys usually talk about? Shoot the answers through. What are your career goals? Yes, that's a question that we also do ask. But when you are asked this question, when you are asked about your strengths, what's the first thing that you think about talking about?
What's so special about me? And I will also try to take a different spin on the answer so that I could answer it a little bit more differently.
Mm-hmm. Great answer. Also, Tisara, yes, I would talk about my attitude. Yes. So I really like the way you guys are thinking. And this is what is different about the way that our generation approaches interviews, right? We talk about our attitudes. We talk about our personalities. We talk about what we bring to the table in terms of our soft skills. We say things like, I am hardworking. I am a fast learner. I'm self-driven. I work well under pressure. I'm a good communicator. These are the things that we would like to talk about. So what I want to bring into focus here is that usually when you are asked that question at an interview, the first thing that everyone sometimes thinks to talk about is the skill set. So you have your resume open in front of you, and this is something that, I'll talk from a technical perspective. You immediately think that, okay, let's start talking about my technical skills, the projects I've worked on, the tech stacks that I'm confident in, the languages that I'm confident in. This is what you tend to talk about. And it's fair enough, because when you are being interviewed, of course, any company, Gapstars, even we immediately think about, yes, what are your skills and how would you be a good fit on our client teams, and how would you be a successful fit for the products and the projects that we are currently working on, which is great. Of course, in any recruitment function, we are going to want to know about what your hard skills and what your technical skills are. But what I really like about the way that you guys have answered is actually what I was going to talk about next, is the soft skills, is the things about your attitude. And as I believe Ahmed rightfully said, it's stuff about how you approach that question differently. It's about talking about your personality and, what kind of person you are in a workplace. That is what truly makes you a very, very valuable asset to a company. Because everyone can have a lot of talents that they put down on paper in terms of tech stacks or courses that they've done. Everyone can put that. But what's really special about every single one of us are those soft skills that we bring to the table. Now, how does that tie into Gapstars and our values? How does that tie into who we are as a company? Well, if you look at our values here, everything is very, very in sync. If you look at passion for growth and look at the fact that we care and deliver, we care not only about our clients, but we also care about our employees. We don't want it to become a situation where an employee is just hired for a job, sits down. I have another question for you guys. Sometimes when people join organizations, I like to think of, and this is something that I talk about when I discuss things with my colleagues, and this is a fact that I like to bring up when you discuss culture in a workplace. In some workplaces, especially in structures that are very rigid, that might not be as flexible and open, when you join a company, you often become three things. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on this. What do you think those three things are? You can speak and you can put your microphones on and speak if you wish, or you can drop it in the chat box. Okay, maybe you're a little bit stuck on this one, so I'll help you out, right? So sometimes in an organization, what happens is when you join, the three things that you can sometimes become are a laptop, a desk, and a title. Let's say that, let me take one of you guys as an example. Yeah, let me take Ms.Zahra. So let's say Ms.Zahra joins a company. And Ms.Zahra is a person who, let's say, likes art, likes cooking, likes dance. Let's say that she loves learning about history. She is very passionate not only about technology, but she's also very passionate about social welfare and things like that. So let's say that she has this amazing personality and all these interests, and then she joins an organization. And let's say that the organization isn't flexible and there's a lot of work pressure. She can't make friends that easily. Let's say that it's not a culture that is very open. And she eventually becomes, let's say she joins as a software engineer, she will become a software engineer at a desk in front of her laptop. And that is something that nobody wants. Nobody likes that, right? I know for a fact that I would not like to work like that. And a lot of us do not like to work in an environment or work in a situation where we only become one specific thing, where we become this person who's been hired just for the job. So where our values tie into that is we make sure that every single employee who joins our company is celebrated for those special things about them. So if you're taking the example of Ms.Zahra, she would be celebrated for all those parts of her personality and all those interests and all those things about her soft skills that exist outside of work. The fact that she could be a very friendly person, she could be a great communicator, she could be very caring towards her colleagues, she could be very knowledgeable about certain things, and those are the things that we would like to celebrate. Whatever your hobbies are, whatever the things are that you do outside of work, those are the things that we want to celebrate. So in a nutshell, you don't become, at Gapstars, you don't become just a laptop, a name, and a title. You become essentially a greater version of who you are. It takes all those wonderful things that are already packaged into your being, and we just enhance it and make it spectacular. Because at Gapstars, what we like to do is, while yes, skill set is very important, we also make sure that the people that we bring into our family, or we like to say the stars we bring into our Gapstars galaxy, we like to make sure that all these people have those special integral values that make them true superstars. And we like to make them superstars not only in the internal community with the Gapstars community and the client team, we also like to make them superstars in the external community. Now you might be wondering, how would you make people special in the external community? And I'll get to that soon too. So keep that special thing in mind, because that is going to be something that I will talk about in a bit as well. In the meantime, let's move on to the next section. So let's talk a little bit about our engineering capabilities as well. So given here a list of some of our clients, not all, because that would have been a very big slide, but this is some of our clients. They do very, very different things. They all build different types of software. They build different types of platforms and different types of products. So it's a very all-rounded experience. While you might join Gapstars and be put onto one specific client team to work for them, there's always the opportunity for you to work for a different client team and learn something new as well. Because when you join Gapstars, you join us as a company. The client teams are there for you to explore, for you to better your own skills and to learn and to develop as well. So let me tell you a little bit about what some of our clients do. So jumping straight in, let's take Harvard as an example. So Harvard is actually the #1 cloud-based pre-selection candidate testing solution. So basically, to simplify all of that, I'm pretty sure you guys might be familiar with HRIS. So that's Human Resource Information Systems. So Harvard essentially creates a software, a recruitment software, which helps recruitment and talent acquisition processes in several different organizations. So this essentially helps to streamline the entire recruitment process a lot better, because it filters down all the data and it gives something that is gives data that's a lot more presentable and a lot more easier for recruiters to digest. So that's a little bit about Harvard. They're a cloud-based solution. Then we jump onto Fixico. So Fixico, one of our clients, is actually they have a very interesting product, one that I didn't really know even existed before I joined the company. So what Fixico does is they are actually quite a big leader in Europe in terms of the product that they offer. They offer a digital car repair management solution. So basically, if you were to have a damage on your vehicle, and if you were to connect to their platform, you would be able to be connected to businesses, repair stores, garages, and other resellers as well. And they will help you to identify the best quote and the best charge that you can go for at exactly which repair outlet, which is quite a good need, because I mean, if we had something like that in Sri Lanka as well, it would really help a lot of issues that you have on the road. Finally, we have Atrium. So Atrium is an e-commerce platform. They are currently, they're actually a perfect example of a tech scale-up. They are one of our biggest clients as well. As you can see, they've raised over 7 million euros in their funding stages to scale up massively, and they're growing like crazy. So these guys have a really, really cool fashion platform. Basically what they do is they partner up with a lot of designer brands, a lot of big brands and stores globally, and they offer the platform as a means of reselling, or rather taking excess stock and making sure that it has a guaranteed saleable outlet. So that's basically a little bit about Atrium as well. So actually speaking about all of this reminded me of a couple of the pitches from Idealize. I heard a lot of very, very, very interesting pitches, great ideas, and it made me really happy to see that a lot of you guys have some great, great innovative ideas out there for apps that you guys can develop. So congratulations on that also. Could I also just see, maybe just drop a thumbs up or something in the chat, or maybe in the reaction, as to how many of you participated in Idealize? Just want to see how many of you guys were also there. Yes, I see one person has been there. Cool. I'm sure there's more than just one person who's been there, but that's fine. Right. And the reason I actually asked is because I saw a lot of potential out of the pitches that were presented that day. A lot of you guys have very entrepreneurial mindsets, and a lot of you all have very entrepreneurial thinking. And Sri Lanka is going to be very lucky to have a tech space like this in the coming years. So my next question actually is, and please do interact, drop something in the chat box or raise your hand there. You can tell me, how many of you guys after graduating would like to start up your own company? How many of you guys would want to explore the opportunity of starting your own tech startup in Sri Lanka? Just drop a couple of quick emojis or thumbs ups or raise your hand. And let me see how many of you guys want that as a potential career. Yeah, I see Ahmed has said so. Oh, I see a lot of people starting to raise their hands now. Yeah, Wow, we have a lot of future entrepreneurs here. Brilliant, brilliant. Right. So the reason I asked is because when it comes to a tech startup, and we've actually spoken about this before as well. I've been on a panel called Spike. Have you guys heard of Spike Colombo? You can drop another thumbs up if you guys have. Yeah, you've heard of it? Great. So Spike Colombo is basically this platform. They talk about different things whenever they do have their meetups. And basically the last session that Gapstars was a part of, we were talking about tech startups. And the particular session was linked to investors, both locally as well as internationally. Because when it comes to starting up your own company in the tech sphere, it's actually a lot more challenging than you might think. Because let's say you want to start up your own product, you want to build your own product, you want to get out there and start your own company. And let's say that you have the development skills and you know exactly what you want to do. But here's the thing, there are so many other areas that you will need a lot of help on. For example, let's say that you're a very, very talented backend developer and you know exactly what your product is going to be, but you need someone who's going to jump in and help you with the front end stuff, help you with the UI, UX. You're going to need someone who's going to help you with the sales aspect of it, who's going to help you to pitch not only to potential clients, but also to investors. You're going to need someone who's going to help to streamline and create a business plan for you and maybe a revenue model. And on top of all of that, one of the most important things is when it comes to creating your own product or starting up your own company, especially in tech, you're going to need a lot of funding and a lot of capital. And that's usually where the investors would come in. So it is quite a big process to actually get your company out there. And it is a big challenge, but it's also incredibly rewarding because if you look at the current climate of the Sri Lankan tech industry, there's a lot of startups. Every day there's something new coming out, and the Sri Lankan tech industry is very, very dynamic. So I know I've said a lot about how difficult it is to start up your own venture. And the reason I actually mentioned that is because you will need help, right? You're going to need help in terms of mentorship. How are you going to get this product off the ground? Maybe there are particular skills that you don't have at the moment, and you're going to need someone to help you harness those skills, to sharpen those skills. Maybe there is one aspect of development and engineering you're good at. Maybe there's another aspect you need a lot of help on. So Gapstars is actually the perfect place for you to be if you're thinking of starting up your own tech company or launching your own product. And the reason for that is this. You can join us as an engineer, and we will be more than happy to nurture you, to mentor you, to give you all the training and all the skills that you would need to really succeed as an engineer. And at the same time, if you have a really, really good idea in hand, if you have a very innovative idea, and if you come to us and you pitch it to us, and if we are really blown away by what you guys have presented, we're going to help you with that. We'll help you with the mentoring. Whatever you might need in terms of your technical skills, if you want to sharpen up, we can help you with that. We can help you in terms of your soft skills, your public speaking, how you would approach a potential client, how you would approach potential investors, how you would look at getting the buzz about your product or your company out there into the market. Those are all things that we can help with. And if we are really, really, really blown away with what you guys present us, Gapstars will also invest in whatever your product would be. Whatever your innovative idea is, whatever you are hoping to put out there, if you have something that you want to start up by yourself, that is something that we would be keen not only to help you achieve, we will also mentor you, and we will also invest in the idea if it's something that we feel is going to be a really, really, really big success. And with the kind of talent that we've seen so far, I'm pretty sure that all of you guys have ideas that are going to be quite successful. So not only will you be able to mitigate some of that risk that comes along with starting up your own venture, because you will have a guaranteed position already in terms of job security, you will already be employed by Gapstars. And in addition to that, you will also get the guidance that you need. So that's a little bit about how we would help you to build that part of your career up as well. So if you're looking to migrate, definitely, that's something that we can help you with if you want to go to the Netherlands. if you are looking to develop your own career in terms of your own startup or your own product, that's something that we can be here for you as well. And if you are looking to really, really shine as an engineer in the industry, if you're looking at really building up your skills, even if you want to stay in Sri Lanka and pursue engineering or development, again, something that we can help you with. So we pretty much got you covered on all areas rather. Great. So here is just a little bit of a breakdown on some of the most popular technologies that we use in our development. We use pretty much all the languages and all the technologies out there, but these are some of the most popular ones. So I've actually spoken to graduates before. I've gone through CVs before as well of graduates, and I've seen that quite a number of these are technologies that you already do use in your, in your academic career, in some of the products and projects that you work on a freelance basis or, on part-time basis. I've noticed that these are things that you do have. In the event it isn't, we do have a structured training program that we also take our graduates through once they join the company, called Gapstars Academy. We take you guys through that and give you all the training that you might need, both from a client perspective as well as your own personal development. So in addition to the basic engineering and development careers that you can follow, there's also a whole plethora of different careers that you can pursue once you've got that IT qualification. It's not just the standard engineering. There's also a lot of other areas that I've shown here, for example, that you can pursue with us. So I recall some time back, I remember that you guys had asked if we currently have a data science and data engineering division, because some of you guys, were looking for internships. As a matter of fact, data science and data engineering is something that we are hoping to bring in as well. We're hoping to create a team, to structure a team. So if this is something that you are interested in, definitely shoot your CV through to me. You can contact me on LinkedIn. You can speak to me through email. All my details are on my LinkedIn page itself. You can even apply directly through our Gapstars portal, and you can find out where you would potentially be able to fit in at Gapstars. In addition to that, of course, machine learning and AI is another very, very big area that's fast growing, not only in Sri Lanka, but worldwide. And that's something else that we are going to be diving into. Business analysis, DevOps, QA, another big part of a big chunk of people that we hire is for QA as well as for the general development. So just as a broad stroke, these are the careers that you can pursue with us. Of course, if there's anything else that you're also thinking of, if there are any other areas that we may have not probably mentioned here, feel free to contact me or get in touch. I'll be happy to clear that up for you. Right. So just as much as you guys are a big part of our journey, we've also been a big part of the journey of our employees. We've currently reached 100+ employees, and I just want to give you guys a little bit of an insight into what it's like a day at Gapstars. So here we go.
Cool, bubbly, and sexy.
Awesome, funny, crazy.
They're very passionate about what they do, friendly, easy to work with.
Intelligent, supportive, fun. The coffee break.
Playing pool.
Mobbing sessions.
Doing some hardcore development work.
First day that I joined, I got a very warm welcome.
Christmas gathering.
Fun Fridays. Tours around the world.
The people I've met.
I think the best thing that happened to me was Gapstars. That's a tough question.
Hire more handsome boys.
More food in the fridge.
There's not a lot to change.
Have more and more parties? Nothing, because it has everything.
Right. So hope you guys enjoyed that little video. That's a little bit about what it's like working at Gapstars from some of our employees that we have over there. So I think you might have heard actually that one girl talking about trips around the world, which is going to be our next area. So I want to tell you guys a little bit more about our culture. And apart from just being very inclusive and very flexible, we also like to have a lot of fun. So first up, I want to show you a couple of pictures from our trips to Amsterdam. So a little bit of background here. So the team that you see is a team for Harvard, which is the recruitment software that I was telling you guys about earlier. So Harvard invited the Sri Lankan team over to Amsterdam. These guys had a blast. They visited the Harvard head office, went to Netherlands, and after that, they actually went to Italy as well. So they had a pretty good time there. Of course, this was pre-COVID. So hopefully once everything settles down, once everyone is vaccinated. And so like I said, we love to have fun, right? And our parties, we like to think are pretty spectacular. So if you look at the party that we have here, this is actually our scale-up party, and we did it in a very, very, very big way. We actually got not only the Sri Lankan team, but the Sri Lankan team and their family, the Dutch teams and their family. So it was a very, very, very big party. You might notice Dominic Keller was also invited. He was our host for the event. So it was a really, really fun party. We had Dutch DJs down. We had a local band playing. Yeah, we like to throw parties in a very, very big way, and we take them very seriously. So that's a little bit about how fun it is to work with us. This is something else that we also did. So this was actually before I joined the company, but it looks like something that I would have loved to be a part of. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys would too. So we did this thing where we collaborated with Red Bull, and we hosted this thing called the Tuk-Tuk Tournament. So again, invited everyone from around Gapstars as well as their families. We had a bunch of tuk-tuks, and we basically went on a little tour around the country. And it was sort of, as it was a race, it was a competition. So it was a lot of fun, as you can see in the pictures as well. Everybody had a blast. Right, so I think you guys have got a bit of an indication of what Gapstars is like around as a whole. You now have an idea of what our technological and our engineering capabilities are. You have an understanding of our culture. We like to be very inclusive. We offer equal opportunities to everyone. We believe that everyone deserves equal opportunities when it comes to employment, irrespective of gender, of race, of religion. We look at who you are as an individual, what your talents are, and that's what really matters. So we are an equal opportunity employer. We're very inclusive and flexible, and we also like to have a lot of fun. So at the beginning, you might recall me saying that not only do we like to make our employees superstars in the internal community, we also like to make them superstars in the external community. And in addition to that, we also do care a lot about the upcoming generations. So that's kind of reflected in the way that we interact with the universities, as well as how we like to share our expertise and our knowledge with the generations that are now coming into the workforce. So like I told you earlier, Rise Up Mora was one such initiative that we partnered up with you guys on, where we conducted these mock interview sessions and gave you a little bit of career guidance. So in terms of how we make our employees superstars in the external community, we have this thing called the Explorer series. So basically, it's this knowledge sharing sessions where we get an internal speaker as well as someone externally to speak about a particular technical topic. So this session was actually one that happened a couple of months ago in April, and we were speaking about PHP. So as many of you might know as well, PHP isn't a very, very, very fashionable language anymore, but that is quite a misconception, because you can make your platforms very scalable and very future-proof with PHP. And that is something that we wanted to share with the community. So we conducted a session where we spoke about scalability, we spoke about PHP and security, the frameworks, and how it can really help to future-proof your applications. And we had Mr. Vipula. You guys might have heard of him from Colombo Laravel meetup if you've attended any webinars in the past. And you might actually recognize John, who was at Idealize. He spoke at the grand finale as well as during the pitches. So to answer the question as to how we make our SaaS superstars in the external community as well. This is how. We like to give our employees a platform. We like to give them the opportunity to share with the external community, be it through blog posts, be it through medium.com or our internal blogs, be it through webinar sessions or Clubhouse. We like to make sure that our employees get an opportunity to really go out there and speak with the community, to get known in the community. So once you join Gapstars and you become an employee, and if you have these kinds of things that are an interest to you, we will definitely make it happen for you. It's in such a way where you will be known. You'll be like, oh yes, that's that person from Gapstars. We like to make our employees feel very special. We like to make them feel valuable. And we like to make sure that they know just how brilliant they are. So that's one thing that we do. That's how we make you guys superstars in the external community as well. So let me show you actually a snippet from this particular webinar that we did have. Hope you guys can all see my screen.
Specifically talking about scaling horizontally. Essentially, they have you have vertical scaling, which is getting larger and larger servers, and then you have horizontal scaling, which is essentially adding in more servers across your network so that you have more workers to serve all of the applications. You have different architectures like monolithic, microservices, or service-oriented architectures. Depending on what you have right now as you start in your business, or what you're working with already, it's going to depend. There's no one size fits all. Generally all of these patterns have pros and cons. For example, monolithic might actually be faster, but it's not as scale. Microservices will let you actually scale and set up a CS pipeline and deploy fast. But on the con side, these are pretty complex in terms of monitoring to set up. And SOA is kind of you still have all the benefits of having services in there, but you still have a full stack application, and you can't really push out components of it without.
So that was a little bit of a snippet from that particular session that we did have on PHP and scalability. So if you guys actually want to watch that session in its entirety, we had one entire webinar on it and a lot of really interesting questions were raised as well. I will share the link here with you guys so that you all can check it out. Right, and back to this. Again, another way, of course, that you guys are all familiar with by now of how Gapstars looks at empowering the next generations is through events such as this. Partnering up for Idealize, the session that we're having right now at CSLX. These are the kinds of things that we do to empower the next generations and to really give you guys that insight and to give you guys that support that you would need to come into this industry. So here's a little something that I feel might be of interest to you guys. Of course, I know that you're very, being in the tech industry, and like I said at the beginning, it's very dynamic. Things are changing all the time. So this month, actually, we're hosting another webinar, which is tackling GraphQL and how you can adopt a GraphQL mindset. So again, here we have a Gapstars speaker, who is Mr. Dinisha, who will be speaking. And you might also recognize Hasita, who is from Different. So they will be speaking on GraphQL as well as bootstrapping, scalability, stability, and how to architect your entire application for the future to make it future-proof. So this is happening on the 19th of August. This is happening next Thursday, so exactly a week from now. So if you guys want to, show up for this event, I really recommend y'all do. Y'all will learn a lot. These are two very, very intelligent and very talented individuals. They have a lot of insights to share. So I will share the link here with you guys as well to register for this event. So that is the link if you guys want to register for this event. And this is the link for the entire episode of the previous, episode 1 of the Explorer series, covering scalable platforms with PHP. So we come to the last segment of what we do for the community, and that is actually tying right into this entire session, which would be our graduate hiring program. So we are looking at hiring some really, really, really brilliant individuals to come into our organization as graduate engineers. So basically, as soon as you guys graduate, and if you guys, because it is difficult, you are concerned about finding a job, about settling down in the industry. So if those are concerns, and if you want a full-time job immediately upon graduation, then definitely apply to us, because we are conducting a graduate hiring program at the minute. So you will come on board as a full-time employee, and you'll be placed onto one of our client teams to work directly with the clients on their projects. So like I said before, there is an entire training process as well to make up for whatever skills you guys might feel you'll need development on, as well as what the clients would need. So if this is something that you guys are looking to do, getting a job immediately as soon as you guys graduate, then definitely apply to us. I will drop the link in here so that you guys can follow that link and you can apply directly to it. I really look forward to meeting you guys maybe in the interviews once we kickstart this program with y'all. I hope to maybe see a couple of familiar faces from here around office once everything opens up, because I hope you guys apply. And I hope that we can welcome you into the Gapstars family, because I've seen some incredible potential at the Idealized session. I've seen some really, really smart individuals during this session as well. And I know that all of you would be a perfect fit for Gapstars. So looking forward to that. So please do apply. If you guys have any questions, like I said, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. My contact details are there as well. So that has been me, and that has been Gapstars. I would like to open the floor up now. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead. I believe you might be able to turn your microphones on if you want to ask any questions verbally. If you want to drop something in the chat, please feel free to do that as well.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
It's me again. I just want to ask about, is there anything related to bioinformatics like section in your organization? Is it like softwares in the sense, like, is it like open to any kind of ideas, right?
Yes, so I gave you a couple of examples of a few of the companies that we have working with us, but that's just 3 of many. So in terms of bioinformatics in particular, there is a potential that that might be something that does come in eventually, because we do have a project-based function that we have internally as well. So I wouldn't say that that is something that we can say we are not looking at. Are looking at any kind of opportunity that can come in terms of the client end, as well as different projects in different kinds of industries. So yeah, that definitely is something that we might be doing as well. If you would like a little bit more information on this, I can definitely shoot a message out to the team also. And yeah, reach out to me on LinkedIn. Maybe you can add me there and we can have a deeper discussion about this also.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ahmed. Here we have internship programs. So we are looking at kickstarting internship programs as well. Currently, at the minute, we are looking at specifically the graduate hiring programs. So as soon as you guys do graduate, it's full-time employment. If internship programs are something that y'all are also interested in, then yes, do shoot your CVs through. Y'all can get in touch with me. This is something that, yes, we can also consider for you. Any other questions? Yep, let me drop the email here. Actually, you guys can directly apply in the link that I added above. So that's the Gapstars link. So if you are looking at the graduate opportunities, y'all can apply directly here. If you guys want to know anything else, this is my email. So y'all can send it through to this. So if you guys have any further questions, or if you guys want to send your CVs through, if you want to have a deeper discussion, maybe you can shoot any of your questions or anything over to my email address. And if you guys also want any access to our blogs, which can help you guys in terms of career development, if you all want to watch any of the sessions, again, you can reach out to me. And the registration links, as well as a link to our full session of the first episode of the Explorer series, is also in the chat if you guys want to check that out.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I have a question here. What kind of extra qualifications are expected from an applicant who is expecting to apply for foreign job opportunity?
Foreign job opportunity. Okay. So currently at the moment, I believe that all of you guys are following, y'all are in the CSE and the FIT faculties, right? Correct?
Yeah, it seems so.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Talking about
No, it's not my question. Actually, it was in the chat.
All right, I see. Okay, understood. So when we look at the qualifications, of course, we look at the main qualification within software engineering or computer science or IT, you know, ideally from universities such as University of Moratuwa or any other reputed university. In terms of additional qualifications that might, and this is true actually of any job, either locally or internationally, where sometimes they might require additional certifications. So these certifications usually are, and this is from my experience, from what I have seen in recruitment as well. So let's say that you are currently working on cloud applications, you might require an AWS certification or certifications in Docker or Kubernetes. Those are some of the additional certifications that might be needed as per that particular job role. So for every role it changes, but for foreign opportunities at the moment, with us anyway, with Gapstars, there aren't any additional qualifications that you would need to have. It's basically, if I was to speak from a broad stroke, it's your primary qualification, which would be once you graduate university, maybe a bachelor's or a master's in computer science, IT or software engineering, as well as all the work experience that you have accumulated. So any additional qualifications or certifications that you might have are always a bonus, but in terms of what we are looking for, it's not always a hard must. So I hope that clarifies the question. Any other questions, guys? So I think that I'm good on my end. If you guys do not have any further questions, I believe.
Yeah, there's one more.
Okay,
Are there any opportunities for data science undergraduates?
Yes, so like I said before, data science and data engineering is an area that we are looking to build a team in. We are looking to explore that. So if that is something that you are interested in, yes, there are going to be opportunities. So feel free to shoot your CV through or get in touch directly.
Ms.Zahra Nalir, thank you for spending your precious time teaching us about many important things about career opportunities.